Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel I talk about all things behind the scenes of running a hand-dyed yarn business as well as any other crafty things I want to talk about. So today is going to be a shop update vlog. I'm just going to run through things that are going on in the shop, show you what's going to get loaded into tomorrow's update. Which is at agirlandherwool.com, and it will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so make sure you check it out. Things are going to work a little bit differently this month because I was on vacation and had less time to kind of get things ready. So let's start talking about it. We'll run through, again, just some general updates and then the July colors of the month. So before we get into yarn, I wanted to just mention that I do have all of the August craft journal sticker kits up and available in the shop. I've already shipped out the August clubs, but you can still shop a la carte anytime. If you're curious about the club, it renews on the 10th of the month, so you'd have to be signed up by then. And everyone in the club, regardless of what you sign up for, gets a free sheet included with their clubs. So if you are interested in them, that's a great thing to do. But yeah, you can start shopping the August stickers now, and September's will release later this month. I just revealed the July Mystery Yarn Club colorway here on my channel as well as on Instagram a few days ago. So if you haven't checked that out yet, definitely do so. In the club reveal vlogs, I kind of talk about my behind the scenes kind of thoughts and processes. So if you want to hear more about the inspiration of the colorway and why I dyed it the way I did, and also just see it if you're not in the club, check that out. And then if you are interested in the club, signups are open through the 20th, July 20th, to be a part of the August clubs. And I'll put up a photo here of what the August inspiration will be. So that is what the color will be based on. But just remember, my clubs, you pick the size of your skein. So if you want to do minis or 50s or large skeins or the standard 100-gram skeins, you can do so. Or if you prefer mini skeins, you can get a 5 skein set as well. And if you haven't yet checked out the t-shirts that I offer in my shop, this is something new that I launched a little while ago. I'm going to soon kind of start offering up kind of more fall, winter theme types of things. So keep an eye out for that, but you can still shop away in what's available now. It's all t-shirts because we're in the summer months here. So just keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't already checked them out, you definitely should do so. Otherwise, there's not too much going on in the shop right now, kind of the quiet summer months, so nothing to really fill you in on. But keep an eye out because there will be new things coming soon, especially as we head into the fall season. Definitely want to make sure you're subscribed here on my channel and following me on Instagram. Those are the two places where you get the most up-to-date info and where I fill you all in on things. So definitely check those out. All right, so let's talk July colors of the month. So a couple of things, I guess, is the way I run my shop is every single month I have 5 colors of the month. And these are the colors that I'm dyeing up for that month. So those are the ready to ship skeins that are available in the shop updates. And then those are what you can order as any size skeins or sweater quantities, anything custom for that month only. So if you like these colors, July is the time to grab them because then they go back into hibernation until some time in the future, if ever. So it's just a great way for me to focus on colors and to be able to dye up all of the custom orders for you in the shop. If you like minis, a good thing to do is to check out my Colors of the Month Sampler Set Club. Every month you will receive a 20-gram mini of each of the 5 colors. What I love about this is you can see the colors before the update, but they're just great to throw in if you ever need a contrast color or just a little bit in a shawl or something like that. You can always use these. Of course, scrappy projects or hats and smaller projects can be done as well. You can also check out the coin flip hat, which is a pattern by Shayna Lyons Designs that used 5 mini skeins from my shop, so you can certainly use the sampler set for that. Sign-ups for those are available through the first of the month unless they sell out. This is a limited quantity club, but they are open right now if you want the August colors of the month, which I'll talk about more at the end, what I'm going to be doing with that. So anyway, that's generally how the shop update works. For this month, there actually is no ready to ship skeins available. Kind of as I mentioned, I was away this month, and so I didn't have time to dye up ready to ship skeins. So everything will be custom order, so you'll just have to order them all through the custom order listings, which you can find in my shop at agirlandherwool.com. So I'm gonna just run through them now, and we'll talk about them. So since I don't have ready to ship skeins, I don't have skeins to show you, so we'll be using photos as well as the swatches that I knit up. I don't even have minis because the sampler sets are long gone. I probably should have recorded this back then, but that's fine. So yeah, this month I thought it would be fun to do a little throwback, so a little July throwback. So these are 4 of the 5 colors are all original A Girl and Her Wool. I'm talking back when I first launched my business. Some of these launched with the original club. I know a couple of these were part of my first ever ready to ship update. Like, these are OG A Girl and Her Wool colors. There is one new color that I threw in the mix there as well. But some of these you've seen come back. Some of these you probably have never heard of. But let's just kind of run through them. They're a good variety, but you can still kind of mix and match them if you want to as well. So the first color is Arctic Chill. This is a color that I definitely have dyed up since. I don't remember the last time. I definitely don't think this has been a color since I've done colors, or I know it hasn't been a color of the month ever. So I don't know if I've ever had this as ready to ship or if this is just from my old dye to order only days. But the color is a white base with speckles of a couple of different blues and then some grays. So generally a winter colorway, but thought it would work well in the summer too with the bright blue and the white and everything, just keeping it nice and white and light. So a great color if you need like a lighter contrast in a 3-colored shawl or a 2-colored shawl. Maybe you have some blues in your stash, and this would work really well with it. Or, of course, great on its own. So you kind of just get a fun speckly color. So that is Arctic Chill. The second one is one that I've definitely had quite a bit in my shop. Most of you probably know it. Again, I don't think it's been a color of the month, but I definitely have had it available. I think I had it available at the festivals I did last year. So this is Love at First Sight. I did slightly change this formula. So it's a white base, again, with pinks and purples and gray speckles. But I just added a few more purples and a few more pinks, and it just makes it that much more kind of textured in the color versus just having, you know, the separate pink and purple, which I thought was really nice. So again, a great color on its own, or if you have some of those colors in your stash, this is a good light contrast if you need like different tones. The third color is probably one that most of you don't know unless you were a very close follower back in the day. This is a colorway that I had up in the shop probably for a short time. It was probably something I added to my library when I was all dye to order and I had a large library. But I definitely haven't had it in the shop since, and I feel like it was towards the tail end, so it wasn't something that I had available or dyed very often. But this is Envy, and it's a really fun variegated color with a bright green contrasted with a dark blue. And then it does have speckles of like colors across the rainbow very lightly on it. You just kind of get a stitch of it every once in a while. Overall, you don't really see them too much, but you get a little bit of like, I won't even be able to show it on camera, just some pinks and then like teals and yellows and stuff like that that kind of just like help blend in there. So that is Envy. And then another colorway, and this was a requested one, and as soon as whoever tells me it was them, I'll be like, that's right. But I couldn't remember who requested it to come back. But this is Marbles, and honestly, if I had skeins with me, I probably wouldn't even show you this swatch because for a few reasons. I'll talk about it in a bit, but generally this is a pooling colorway with a medium blue. So this colorway originally, denim, which you guys probably know, is a tonal medium blue that I've had in my shop a lot. Like that is one that I've consistently offered in the shop. That was originally made to pair as a contrast for marbles. So that's kind of where it comes from. But then that stuck around more than marbles did. And this is a planned pooling colorway. So you see it definitely pools. You get blues and then you get sections where it's speckles of a lot of rainbow colors. Yellow, orange, green, pink, turquoise. It's all kind of in there. The reason I stopped offering it, I think, was just it was getting dyed up a lot when it was around. And then for whatever reason, I probably just needed a break from it. And then I haven't really brought it back because it is a pooling color that I don't typically offer pooling colors in my shop. But again, it was requested and I really like it. And when I did the June Mystery Yarn Club, that was a planned pooling color and it went really well. You guys all seem to love it so much that I'm thinking of doing more pooling colors in my shop. So yeah, so it seemed like a good time to bring it back. So a few reasons why showing this swatch isn't necessarily the best idea for showing this colorway. One is just know that if you end up using this color and you do make a sock, so even if you are going kind of round and round in the same way that I did, know that the pattern in which it knits up is going to be highly dependent on your gauge, the number of stitches you're doing, the pattern, if you are doing a textured pattern and not a vanilla sock. If you're not doing socks and you're doing a sweater or a shawl, your mileage will definitely vary and this colorway could pool in different ways than this. That's generally always true with pooling colors, but one reason also why showing it on the swatch isn't the best is I used a 20-gram mini to knit that up. I actually used 10 grams of it. I usually use half of my 20-gram mini for the knitted swatch and half for the crochet swatch. I just didn't crochet swatches this round. I knitted off of a 20-gram mini. This is a 100-gram skein that is not wound up, but that's fine. So this is a 100-gram skein, right? In its loop here. I'll come back for this part. So this is a 100-gram skein, and this is the 20-gram mini. And so if you look at it, the circumference of the two skeins are not the same. They're close, right? Like they're close, but they're not the same. The 20-gram mini is that wide, long, and the 100-gram skein is that long. If you're curious about how pooling colors are dyed, I have a pooling versus non-pooling vlog that I'll link down below if you're interested. But basically, for yarn to pool, skeins are dyed in sections. So you would have the blue, the speckle, the blue, and that kind of thing. Since the circumference is smaller, it means that those sections are smaller. And so if I knit this same swatch with the same needles and stitches and everything, but I had done it off an 100-gram skein, this would have looked different too because the 20-gram mini has a smaller circumference, so the amount of blue would have been less. So if I had done it with an 100-gram skein, this might be kind of a little bit more straight across instead of diagonal, because on mine, the blue, if you look at like a row, the blue only goes from like here to here, and then you get the speckled from here to there, and then blue. Whereas if I had done it with a longer circumference, my blue might have been a full row, and then you might have seen like blue and then speckled and blue and then speckled. So showing it on here isn't the best way to capture what this colorway might look like. But if you love pooling colorways, definitely this is such a pretty one with all the multicolored speckles and then that kind of neutral blue. So all that to say, don't even look at the swatch. Which I mean can be said for any colorways, of course, like swatches aren't always most representative, but I just felt like for that one it warranted that explanation. So those are the 4 throwback colorways. I'm excited to have these all. I think they're really fun and just being able to like revamp them a little bit and make them a little bit more like current A Girl and Her Wool was fun. So the last colorway is called Open Road, which is inspired. I did a call for like colorways you might want to see. A lot of times with that, I am looking for any older colorways you want to see kind of come back that you haven't seen in a while. But I often get requests for like, oh, could you dye up a color that looks like this? And that was what happened here. So Kitchen Table Knits, who is Jill, who you can see chat with Jana over on the Purl Together channel, asked for kind of like a road trip inspired colorway with like the black from the road and greens for trees and all of that. And I think she had more in there, but this is kind of what I went with. So this is Open Road. It's again, kind of like a lighter base, and you just get pops of the bright green and the dark black and then gray kind of blending in there. So I think this is a really fun new colorway. Again, it's nice to have these three colors that are kind of that lighter base with the different colored speckles. So I think they would make a really fun lighter project if you're not into like super saturated colors. And then of course I think Envy and Open Road, if you're a green lover, just go really well together, of course, too. And then here are all 5 of them kind of all together. Obviously Marbles kind of stands out a little bit, but those are the 5 colors of the month for July. So I'm going to be doing things a little bit different this month. So one is all of the custom orders are going to be dyed up at once towards the end of the month, and they'll all ship at the beginning of August. So instead of having a 2-week turnaround time on everyone's orders, that's how I'm going to do it. The main reason is I usually get the orders at the shop update, and then I get them like right as the month ends when the listings are going to come down. And so I end up kind of doing 2 batches. So I'm kind of just hoping I can combine it to 1. If I feel like enough comes in this weekend, especially with it only being custom orders, I'll probably get started on it and then do an interim shipment. But most likely it won't ship until the beginning of August. And then otherwise, you know, you may see it come a little bit sooner. So because I charge more for my custom orders over ready to ship skeins, I wanted to, but I don't have ready to ship skeins available this month. I wanted to offer up a coupon code. This coupon code is only for you, my YouTube subscribers. I will not be mentioning this anywhere else. I will not be mentioning this on Instagram. This is a YouTube subscriber only discount code. But you can use July COTM, which stands for Colors of the Month, 10. So July COTM 10 for 10% off your order of just these colors of the month through the custom order listing. So anything that's ready to ship in the shop, it won't apply to that, just the custom orders. The other thing is the coupon code is only going to be available through the end of this Wednesday, so midnight, really 11:59 p.m. Wednesday night Eastern time. So remember, the coupon code will apply Eastern time. So just kind of keep that in mind, and then just remember the orders aren't going to ship until the end of the month or the beginning of August, but use the coupon code now while it's available. So that is it with today's shop update. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you're subscribed again so you don't miss out on special events and news like I did here. And then also I will be announcing the winners of the March into Spring Make Along on Tuesday. So I hope to see you then and in the shop tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.